an NEP Orientation and Sensitization Program in collaboration with Vivek College of Education, Bisnor. We are truly honored, sir, to have such an accomplished resource person with us today's session. Currently, Professor Alam, working as professor in Civil Engineering Department at Zakir Hussain College of Engineering and Technology, AMU. Sir has published 17 international and 39 research paper in National Journal. Sir has also published one book titled Fundamental of Engineering Geology and Geoengineering. Professor Alam published 9 modules on engineering geology for MHRD, UGC, EPG Pathshala. So, Professor Alam has made significant contribution in the field of research, and his extensive experience and insights will undoubtedly add immense value to today's session. We are eager to learn from his wealth of knowledge and practical experience. So let's all warmly welcome Professor Alam. Please, sir.
Thank you. I have put some queries, very general queries for all of you to answer in the message box. You have to just answer mostly in yes or no, just to have an idea that how much you are having information about the issue which we are going to discuss. So please note down these questions, and while our lecture progresses, you can answer in between. And that is in the form of a message. If you can take the screenshot of this slide, and you can answer just like, for example, here there is a answer by one of the participant. He has put the answer like this, so you can also put answer in this form. I am again going back to the question. Please see these questions and try to answer in message box. These are questions related to the journal awareness. This does not need much knowledge. It is simply what you feel. What you feel. I have started getting some answers. So just write down yes or no, Y or N. You don't have to put lot of typing. Just you can put the question number and Y for yes and N for no. Somewhere you may have to write a few words, so you can write there. Again, I'm going back to the questions so that those who are joining slightly late, they can also have these questions. You can copy these questions. I have copied these questions and have put in message box. So you can sift through this message and you can answer. So, okay, let me start the talk. The topic is climate change, pollution, waste management, and biodiversity. These are different issues, but in fact, they are all linked with each other. As I have been introduced, I am working as a professor in Department of Civil Engineering, but my subject area is geology. I have done my PhD in geology, and I am teaching few courses in the Department of Civil Engineering, which are related to engineering geology and rock engineering and disaster management, etc., etc. Civil engineering is the engineering which deals with the construction of buildings and other infrastructure. Sometimes they have to construct in rocks, for example, tunnels and dams and roads and rail tracks on the rocky area. So they need a basic idea of what you call geology. So there is a course called as engineering geology, which I have been teaching them since 1997. So it is almost 27 years I am teaching this course and related course. Now we have gathered today to have some basic understanding of our Earth system and the very burning issue of climate change. Many of you are writing in the message that you believe that yes, there is a climate change, but there are people, there are scientists, there are head of the states which still do not believe that there is a earth which is under some fever. Our average body temperature is 98.6. If there is an increase of 1 or 2 degree of temperature, then we start feeling fever. The earth is actually feeling fever. And once we have fever, that means there is something wrong with our body. And if earth has fever, that means something is wrong with the earth's body. Now, in the new education policy, there is a concept of holistic and multidisciplinary education across the sciences, social sciences, arts, humanities, and sports to achieve unity and integrity of all knowledge. And what I have seen from the list, you people are from very different places of India, from different subject areas. So this lecture is going in a way to fulfill the one of the agenda of New Education Policy 2020, that we should know a little bit of everything so that we can live in a sustainable earth system. Now, teacher is the first learner. We are all teachers. We are all teachers, and teachers are the first learners. The last lecture which I gave, it was on 5th September. So the slide says Happy Teachers Day. The teachers have to be happy each day, each month, throughout the year. Teacher is the first learner, and that's why we have orientation programs. That's why we have refresher programs. That's why we have induction programs. Me also have gone through induction program, orientation program, and refresher course at different times. This is also important for our promotion. But the most important thing, apart from promotion, we always get some information, some knowledge which we can impart to our students. Now, climate change, is this a news or fact, or it is just a hoax? Is this a news for all of you, for all of us? Or is it a fact for all of you and for all of us? Or is it a hoax for some of you and for some of us? Now, what I have showing you is two clips from newspaper Times of India, which says that extreme weather in July virtually impossible without climate change. This is a news which is about Europe, where due to extreme temperatures, which was somewhere around 35 degree, they have said that this much of high temperature was never experienced in Europe, and if we are experiencing this must be because of climate change. Another news headline which came into Times of India, you can find the date on which I have collected these news. My whole talk, my all slides will be full of newspaper cuttings. I am not speaking from some book or from some Google material. Rather, I am trying to convey my information or my thoughts or my knowledge through the daily news which we used to hear in television and in newspapers. Europe heat is real, not renoir. Heat is real, not renoir. The European people used to enjoy heat. Some 25, 30 years ago, the European people used to enjoy what you call the just a minute. My app. There was a glitch in the running of the system. So, in fact, it was a very important thing. That is what was very first time uh, professed by Swedish chemist Svante Arrhenius. He predicted in 1896 that due to industrialization, what we have because of burning of coal in Europe, we will be having lot of carbon dioxide into atmosphere, and this may result into warming of the weather or climate. And it was taken as a positive thing in 1896 and early 19th century. It was taken as a positive thing, and in fact they were thinking of burning all poor quality coal so that we can put lot of carbon dioxide in atmosphere, which may result into warming of European countries which were reeling in very cold climate. Europe is in temperate region. They have lot of snowfall, they have lot of rainfall, and they have very low temperatures. And living in the low temperatures, living in the temperatures which are freezing temperatures is very difficult. So in fact, Svante Arrhenius thought that if we burn coal and put lot of carbon dioxide into atmosphere, we will be able to warm the climate of Europe, and that will be good for the citizens of Europe or population of Europe to have some warmer days. But the things have gone out of hand. Whenever we try to play with the nature boomerangs. So we should not play with the nature. We should not alter the processes which are operating on the earth system run by natural forces. If we are trying to put anthropogenic forces at the helm of affairs, then we are going to have a lot of problems. United States National Academy of Science in 1978 indicated that yes, there is a global warming. In 2007, United Nations has accepted that global warming is taking place, and they have constituted a committee which is called as International Protocol for Climate Change, IPCC. IPCC. The change is strongly influenced by anthropogenic activities. This was the main cause, because the global warming can take place or global cooling can take place due to the natural system also. And it has had happened in the past. In the past of the Earth's history, the warming as well as cooling both has happened. But today what is happening is because of human activity, and it is happening at a very faster rate. The nature which brings in change in the weather system of the earth is very slow. It is a very, very dead slow process, and it takes millions of years. Millions of years. Human beings have come onto this earth only in last few thousand years. But earth is there for lakhs and lakhs of millions of years. But as of now, even if we don't take the anthropogenic cause or human cause, but still there is a global warming. Global warming is there. It may be because of natural forces, or it may be because of anthropogenic forces. That is, we have to see that which is dominating force, which is the dominating force. And in this lecture, I will try to show you that is it nature or is it the human beings which have created the kind of global warming which we are seeing today. The previous summer which has just passed, everybody has felt that temperature has gone above average. The India was reeling at many places at temperatures more than 45 degrees centigrade. So why it has happened? The other part of the world, in Europe also, in America also, in the Middle East also, everywhere temperature has gone beyond average values of last decade. Now, Earth is the only living planet. There is no life on any other planet because there is no water, because there is no water, because there is no oxygen, because of there is no nitrogen on the other planet, for example, Mercury, Venus, or Mars. All these planets, they don't have water, they don't have oxygen, they don't have what you call nitrogen oxide, and they have temperatures, very high temperatures. Mercury and Venus, they have temperatures more than 200 degrees centigrade to almost 400 degrees centigrade. So the temperature is so high that no life can what you call survive. Mars, which is at the fourth place from the sun, Earth is at the third place from the sun. The Mars is too cold. There, the temperature is minus 200 degrees centigrade. So the life is not possible there also. So it is the only Earth system where the temperature is in between minus 80 to plus 55 degrees centigrade, in which life can survive and in which water can survive, and it can change its state depending upon temperature into three states of liquid, gas, and solid. We have oxygen and nitrogen. We also have carbon dioxide, which is only 0.004%. 78% is nitrogen, 21% is oxygen. That means it is totaling 99%. The 1% we have, the 1% what is left, we have all the gases, in which carbon dioxide, which is the most what you call pronounced gas as far as the global warming is concerned, but it is only 0.004%. But see, an increase in 0.004% is creating lot of havoc. Though it is not only carbon dioxide, there are other gases also. Now, Earth is made up of different spheres. The Earth is made up of different spheres. For example, we have atmosphere, we have biosphere, we have hydrosphere, we have lithosphere, asthenosphere, and barysphere. Barysphere is the interior most part of the Earth. That is, the 5,000 kilometer of the Earth's interior is barysphere. 800 to 1,000 kilometer is asthenosphere. 200 kilometer of the Earth's top surface is lithosphere. Then we have hydrosphere, in which we have water in all the three forms. Then we have biosphere, in which we have humans, animals, and plants. And then we have an envelope of atmosphere, in which we have different gases. The human beings, they have added one more sphere. The human beings, they have added one more sphere, that is called as built sphere or technological sphere. This is the creation of human beings. If you can see this picture, you are seeing that there is only one tree. There is only one tree and rest of the things, they are the built sphere. So we have made a built sphere at the cost of atmosphere, at the cost of biosphere, at the cost of hydrosphere, and at the cost of lithosphere. And in this, doing this, we have polluted not only hydrosphere, also we have polluted our atmosphere, and we have deranged our lithosphere. So this is the cause of the issue. The issue is the climate change. Climate change, as of today, we are reeling with warmer temperatures, but climate change can be a cooling also. Climate change can be the precipitation also. Climate change can be the change in the direction of wind also. Change in the direction of wind pattern is also climate change. And if you have observed, the wind pattern is also changing with time. And if you see the monsoon, which used to move along the Himalayas in last 15 or 20 years before, from last 10 years, the monsoon has started moving much over the central India rather than northwest India, and it is bringing lot of rain in Madhya Pradesh, in Rajasthan, and Gujarat, which used to be drier state in the past, but today they are wetter state as compared to UP and Bihar, where there is a less rain. So that is another dimension of climate change, that is change in the direction of monsoonal wind. The monsoon used to be called as southeast northwest monsoon, but from last 10 years or so, the monsoon movement has become from south to northwest. From south to northwest. East has been reduced. The eastern component has been reduced. So the climate change can be, they can not only be the weather, the warming, it can be cooling also. Now, naturally, through geological processes, the climate change has had taken place many times on the earth, but those times there was no life. The last climate change which has happened is 20 lakh years ago. The last climate change which has happened is 20 lakhs years ago. From last 20 lakhs to 16 lakh years, there was glaciation, which is called as Him Yug. There was Pleistocene glaciation, Him Yug. We are living in a time of interglacial period. There was a glaciation, there was a Him Yug, and there will be a Him Yug in future. And in between, we are living in a warmer earth. In the warmer earth. Now, these are the news clippings from 2018 and 2019. In Roger Federer, when he lost his match in tennis to John Milkman, he said that I have lost because of very high temperature in the arena. Similarly, if you can see that in Australia, people have made omelette in the sunshine. In United States of America, the temperature has gone down to minus 39 degrees centigrade. If you can see that the jeans pant, they are standing without men or women inside it. The jeans pant, they have got frozen and they are standing without any support because of extreme weather condition of very low temperature in US. And at the same time, during the same time, the global temperature in Australia went up to 43 degrees centigrade, and people had to throng to the beaches to ward off the heat. This heating is creating another problem of forest fire, which we are seeing all over the world, that forest fire, they are continuing from last 10 years in California, in Europe, and they are not being completely doused. We have not been able to douse these fires completely because the time we take to douse, the global warming which comes in much force during summer, they again create the fire. So the California in United States of America, a very powerful country, from last 10 years, the forest fire is raging, but we have not been able to control it. Now, this global warming which we have today, it has been attributed to greenhouse gases, especially carbon dioxide. Now, what is greenhouse? Greenhouse is a glass house made by botanists or by agriculturists or by florists to trap heat and to trap carbon dioxide to grow plant saplings or to grow seedlings, because plants and seeds, they need slightly higher temperature to grow. So we used to make greenhouses, we call it greenhouses, but it used to be made up of glass. Nowadays it has been made up of plastic sheets. You must have seen these greenhouses. Now the same effect is done by the gases which we have in our atmosphere. Those gases which are less than 1%, that is carbon dioxide, water vapor, and CH4. These three gases are very notorious to create greenhouse effect. What they do, they trap the heat which is getting reflected from the Earth's surface. The sun sends the heat through rays, and almost 20% or 22% is reflected back. 40% comes onto the earth, 20%, 60% comes onto the earth, 20% is absorbed, and 20% is again reflected back. The portion which is reflected back is trapped by greenhouse gases, and that create the extra warming. These greenhouse gases, which have two molecules, they start vibrating when the solar energy passes through it, and that results into generation of heat. Now, if you see this graph, we had three major events of warming. Three major events of warming. You can see the black line with different angles of slope. They indicate the warming. We also had one event of cooling somewhere from 1870 to 1900. There was an event of cooling also, and then there was an event when temperature has risen at a very slow pace. See the blue line. This is a data which is up to 2010. I will show you the latest data also slightly afterwards. Now, what causes the warming? What causes the warming of the earth? The most important thing is the solar radiation. The solar rays which comes on the earth's surface, they actually cause the heating, and after heating they have to go back during the night, but part of it is trapped, and that trapment is the cause of warming. The carbon dioxide gas is highly potent to trap the heat. On Venus, the atmosphere has 97% carbon dioxide, and that's why their average temperatures are 480 degrees centigrade. 480 degrees centigrade. This is the mechanism that how solar energy comes onto the Earth's surface and then goes back. When it goes back, its frequency changes. It is now low frequency wave. When it comes, it is a long frequency wave. When it goes back, it is a short wave. And the short wave, they are not able to penetrate the greenhouse gases which are present in our lower atmosphere. And these greenhouse gases are again CO2, N2O, H2O, and CH4, and this is causing the warming. There can be other effects of warming also. You see, in the world, there are places where we have extra warming, and there are places where we have extra cooling. Both the things are going on. Now, you know that Earth rotates on its axis, which is tilted to 22 degree, almost 22 degree. And accordingly, we have equator, tropics, and temperate zones. The sunlight falls directly on the equator. That's why the equator is hottest. Now, if the tilt of Earth changes, everything will change. Everything will change. The solar insolation will change with different latitudes. If there is a tilt of Earth increases or decreases, in both the cases, the things will change. And it has been found that the two earthquakes which we had in 2004 Indonesian earthquake and 2011 Japanese earthquake, they have tilted the earth a bit. That is from 22.1 to 21.5 degree. The tilt is slightly reduced. This may also have an effect on global warming. There is another problem which can lead to global warming on yearly basis. That is solar activity. This is also called as sun spot activity. The sun is actually a huge nuclear reactor. The sun is a huge nuclear reactor where there are nuclear reaction of fission taking place, in which hydrogen is created by fission of helium. Helium breaks down into hydrogen and creates lot of energy. This energy sometimes becomes very high because of sun or solar spot activity, which used to take place every now and then. The picture I am showing you is of 6 October 2022, when there was a solar spot activity. This picture is another picture which is showing the solar spot activity of 2017, year 2017. So whenever there will be solar spot activity, the heat generation will be more at the surface of the sun, and that heat will be transferred to all other planets, including the Earth. The average temperature of the Earth's surface is 5,500 degrees centigrade. When solar activity starts taking place, the temperature goes up to 6,500 degrees centigrade. Almost 1,000 degrees centigrade temperature increases further. And that is also going to affect the Earth. Greenhouse gas production. The greenhouse gases which we have in our atmosphere, which has given us the nitrogen to breathe, oxygen to breathe, water vapor for generation of water for living, is being created through Earth's degassing. Earth has degassed. Earth has released gases through volcanism in last 4,500 million years. The gases which you see in our atmosphere, they have all came out of the Earth's interior through the process of volcanism. The process of volcanism is an indication that Earth has got very high temperatures inside. So much high that all rocks are present in molten state, and this molten material comes out on the Earth's surface in the form of lava, and it releases a lot of gases to the atmosphere. These gases, they are actually natural contribution of greenhouse gas by Earth. But what we have done, we have by burning coal and oil, and by burning wood, by burning forest, we have added this carbon dioxide into our atmosphere. An increase in carbon dioxide has led to the increase in the trapment of heat, and this trapment of heat is causing the global warming. Now, the carbon dioxide is supposed to be taken back by ocean waters. It is supposed to be absorbed by ocean waters. Our ocean waters, which are also almost 3,000 to 4,000 million year old, they have got a level of saturation that they are not being able to absorb that much of carbon dioxide which they are supposed to. They are absorbing less carbon dioxide because of ocean acidification. The ocean water has become acidic with time, and because of increase in acidity of ocean water, the carbon dioxide absorbance has reduced. So if the carbon dioxide absorbance is reduced, that means now we will have more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. If we have more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, we will have more heat trappement. When we have more heat trappment, there will be more temperature, more evaporation. More evaporation means more water vapor. More water vapor means more greenhouse gas. More greenhouse gas means more temperature. More temperature means more melting of ice. Ice is not only providing the fresh water to us, it also reflects lot of light from its surface. The white color of ice reflects light. If you have dark colored material, for example, rocks of dark color, they will absorb heat. And once they absorb heat, they will contain that heat and they will release it only in the night. But sun surface, the ice surface reflects the heat immediately. So all white surfaces, all white grounds, all white things, they reflect light. This is called as albedo. This is called as albedo. Albedo is a process of reflecting back the sunlight. So once the ice is getting reduced with time, because of global temperature, there will be sea level rise, number one, and number two, there will be less reflecting material available with the nature. So with ocean acidification, if you can see this graph, with increasing carbon dioxide, the ocean heating is also increasing. Once ocean heating increasing means you have more water vapor. Once you have more water vapor, then there is a feedback system of heating and melting of the ice. Now, sea level rise is a big cause. The global warming, the main problem with the global warming is the rise in the sea level. The rise in the sea level because of two factors. The most obvious factor is the melting of ice and releasing of more water, which will ultimately come to the ocean and the sea level will rise. But other than this, other than this, because of warming, the volume of water increases. When you boil water in any utensil on the gas stove, then what happens? The volume of water increases. The volume of water increases. This increase in volume of water will cause the sea level rise. So sea level rise can be because of many factors. Simple warming. If there is no melting of glacier, let's forget about melting of glacier. Let's suppose that there is no melting of glacier, but still the water level will rise. When the water level of sea rises, it will create submergence of islands. It will create coastal erosion. You can see a picture which I have taken from Goa. To protect coastal erosion, what we are doing, we are putting concrete pot and concrete blocks so that we can control the erosion. The erosion is because of sea level rise, and sea level rise is because of increasing temperature. Increasing temperature is because of carbon dioxide emission, and carbon dioxide emission is because of many of our works which results into carbon footprint. Now, when they must have created these concrete blocks and concrete tetrapods, they must have made cement, they must have procured aggregate, they must have procured water, they must have transported this material. In all these processes, they must have had generated lot of carbon dioxide, which will ultimately result into generation of more heat. So all our work, whatever we are doing, we are actually somehow creating carbon dioxide. And the absorbers or the users of carbon dioxide are getting less and less. And that is leading to the global warming. Now, if you can see this video, can anybody tell me what this video trying to say? Can anybody tell me that what this video is trying to say? Any answer from anyone? What this video is all about? Can anybody answer what this video is all about? This is what is called as this video
Sir, global warming.
no. You see what is happening? What is happening here? You see, there was a theory of continental drift proposed by Alfred Wegener in 1895. He said that different continents they were one together, they have got broken and splitted. His theory was rejected. Mr. Abindu, now please put off your mic. His theory was rejected and he died in 1915. Then his theory was put under carpet. But in 1960s, again, scientists have explored that concept and they have found that he was true. And this has really happened. Now this theory is called as the theory of plate tectonics. The video which you are seeing is a 15-second video, is actually telling you about what has happened in last 65 million years. In 65 million years, Gondwana land and Angara land have got broken into different parts, which we have now as Africa and then Arabia, then India and Antarctica and all those things. This is happening even today. All our continents, they are shifting over the globe. This theory is called as theory of plate tectonics. All the continents, they are moving at the rate of 5 to 10 centimeters per year over the globe. So if the continents are moving, they must have changed their latitudes and longitudes in last thousands of years. The latitude and longitudes have been drawn some 3,000 years back. But the correct latitude and longitude was drawn in 1737. From 1737 till today, it is almost 300 years. In 300 years, the continents must have moved by meters. That means they must have changed their latitudes, and accordingly, the solar insolation will also change. The movement of plate is like what we have the rate of our nails growth. Our nails grow, we don't see it is growing, but every week we are able to see that how much of our nails have grown. I have tested it myself by observing the mark put by election office, and what I have seen that in the 3.5 months, whole nails have gone up by moving. So all our continents, they are moving with this what you call rate, and if they are moving, that means they can also have a shift in the climate system. We have got some direct and indirect evidences of global warming. Direct evidences means the time since when the different meteorological organizations have formed and they have started taking measurements of temperature all through the globes, all over the ocean surface, through satellites and through different observatories. But before that, people have collected temperature data into their diaries. They were either farmers, or they were travelers, or they were ship, what you call captains. They have recorded temperatures. So if we see the historical record of temperature, that also tells that in every place on the earth, the temperature has gone up. Though there were some time, there was some what you call time in the year when the temperature has gone down also because of different natural reasons, not because of human activity, but because of natural cause. The temperature has gone down also. Now, if you can see this picture, this is a huge rock block. This is a huge rock block present at a place where there is no such rock. There is no similar rock present around this huge rock block. then how come this rock has come here? This kind of rocks which do not have matching rock in the surrounding areas, they are called as erratics. They are called as erratics. Erratics are indicators of glaciers present in this very place in the past. So during AMU, during ice ages, the glaciers have come and they have brought these rocks from 30, 40, 50 kilometers, and they have dropped this and they have got melted and gone away. So the presence of erratics, presence of glacial moraines, they are the indirect evidences of global warming. Thickness of the glacier, length of the glacier, if it is reducing, that means the ice is receding. And if ice is receding, the only cause can be the warming. The same erratic I have photographed in Solan Valley, sorry, in Sonmarg in Kashmir. You can see the erratic, a huge rock block, which doesn't have matching rock in the surrounding area. Also, you can see a valley in which you can see few glaciers, and the valley is U-shaped. The U-shaped valley, they are creation of glaciers. But today there is not much ice at this place. Means global warming. People have taken photograph of a hilltop with ice in the same month, on the same date in 1912, 1970, 2000 and year 2006. See how the ice has got reduced. Why ice has got reduced? Because of global warming. Another proxy indirect evidence came from studying the stalactites and stalagmites. These are the rocks which are hanging in the cave from the roof. They are called as stalactites, and the rocks which are growing from the floor of the caves, they are called as stalagmites. They are formed due to the evaporation of water which is rich in calcium carbonate. When waters get evaporated, the calcium carbonate is precipitated. It is precipitating point by point, and ultimately it becomes a big hanging object which is called as stalactites. And if the same thing grows from the floor, then it is called stalagmites. Scientists have studied carbon, hydrogen and oxygen isotopes of these stalactites and stalagmites, and they have said that how the temperature have varied in last 1500 years, 500 years, in last 500 years. And ultimately, if you come close to the 1990, the temperature has started rising. The temperature has started rising. So this is a indirect evidence. Another indirect evidence came from the study of gases which were trapped in the ice. Scientists have drilled holes into Antarctica and Greenland and North Pole, and they have collected different gases which were trapped in the ice in the form of bubbles, and they have created past temperature of last 1 lakh years. And from that also, what they have been able to make out, that temperature has remained same almost from year 1600 to almost 1900, and then from 1900 it has gone up to 1950. Then from 1950 to 1975, it has gone down, and again from 1975, it is increasing. So they have collected data from what you call they have collected data from what you call Haren Saab, please put your mic off. From what you call speleothems, and they have also collected the data by analyzing the tree rings. If you can see, this is a cross section. Haren Saab, if you want to say something, write down the message and put off your mic, please. Hello. If you can see this picture, you have lot of tree rings, and in this you have a dark layer and light layer. Dark layer is thin and the light layer is thick. Light layer represents summer and dark layer represents winter. If you count the number of dark layers
हो गया
and
ऑपरेशन
light layers and divide it by 2, that means the tree is that much year old. So you can work out the age of what you call tree. And if you analyze carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen isotope data, you will be able to know the temperatures at which they have formed. So from this study also, they have found that the temperature has gone up with a little ice age from 1800 to 1825.
अच्छा
So actually what is
करता हुआ
happening,
ठिकाना होगा
if
चलो ठीक है
anybody from
ठीक है
academic staff college, if he can remove Mr. Haren Yadav,
इडली का वो बनाना
if somebody is managing this program, please.
मैं सामान देख रहा हूँ तो मैडम है साइंस की कॉलेज में
Mr.
तुम्हारे
Haren Yadav, are you not able to listen?
नवनीत सब है इसमें पता ना भाई नए नए सामान है
So if you see actually what is happening, the solar radiation which is coming, that is almost 240 watt per square meter, it should go back. If it goes back, the temperature of the earth will remain same. But if it doesn't goes back, then the temperature of earth will increase. And the thing is that 240 watt per square meter of heat is coming, but only 175 watt is going back. There is a backlog of almost 65 watt, and that is causing the global temperature increase. And if you can see this picture, that how the temperature has risen from 0 to more than 1 degree centigrade. If we see the amount of increase of carbon dioxide and CH4 in our Earth system in last 800 years, so it has going up and down. There is a continuous ups and downs. But if you see the last 25 or 30 years, the rise has gone suddenly up. The line has almost become vertical. And the calculation which has been done, it says that we are adding 2 ppm of carbon dioxide every year extra into the atmosphere. By now, the percentage of carbon dioxide has gone up from 280 to 550 per part million. We are adding 26 to 50 billion tons of carbon dioxide yearly. How we are doing this? Just by burning coal. Coal is an organic material which was put back into the system by geological process somewhere 345 million years ago. But what we are doing, we are taking it out and burning, so we are increasing the carbon dioxide. Similarly, we are also adding CH4 by rottening waste, rottening vegetable waste, rottening what you call vegetation, maybe in forest, maybe around lakes, maybe in the fields. For example, the rice fields, they release lot of CH4. Similarly, lot of CH4 has been buried under the ground below the ice in the temperate region. In Europe and Canada, lot of rotten vegetation is buried, which is called as peat, below the ice. Now, once ice starts melting, these peat and rotten vegetation will get exposed and they will start releasing methane. So, lot of methane and lot of carbon dioxide has been released into the atmosphere. if you can see that different proportion of carbon dioxide, CH4 and NO2, which has increased with time from 1851 to 2022, and they are causing the temperature rise up to 1.6 degree as of now. So if we club all this data, you will be able to see that the temperature has gone up in last 200 years. This is what is called as hockey stick paper. This is what is called as hockey stick paper. The 1951 to 1980 average is there, and above this we have increased just like a hockey stick. So it has been proved that it is not the work of sun in heating our earth, but it is because of human beings. ये सूरज की साजिश नहीं है, खुद जमी सेक रहे हैं. We cannot blame the sun, rather we have to blame us. So there are some obvious fear of climate change, and there are some less obvious fears of climate change. The obvious reasons are global warming, melting of ice, more runoff, loss of sweet water, increased desertification, more humidity, severe weather conditions, sea level rise, but one positive, that is increase in agriculture produce. The agriculture produce may have increase because of global warming, because of greenhouse gas effect. But there are some less obvious reasons which we do not see directly, but that is also happening. That is migration of people, lot of increase in different diseases, change in the oceanic current system that is called as thermohaline conveyor, change in the agriculture pattern, crop failure, animal migration, ecological imbalances, and crop losses due to the extreme weather condition. We had lot of rain in Aligarh in last week. The rains are good for wheat, for the rice field, but the rains were so much that all the rice field got what you call flattened because of excessive rain. So whatever we got due to increase in temperature and carbon dioxide, the same thing has been lost because of extreme weather condition. So nowadays the problem is that how to control this temperature. How to control this temperature, because till now the temperature has gone up to 1.6 degree, and if it reaches the 2 degree centigrade limit, then the problem will be manifold. The problem will be manifold. We will have lot of extreme weather condition. We will have extreme heating. We will have extreme cooling. We will have lot of cyclones. We have change in the weather pattern. And all these are going to create problem for humanity wherever they are living. For example, the country like Dubai, which is a desert area, which is having a desert climate, was flooded like anything. Just like a flood of Noah, biblical flooding in Dubai. Why this has happened? Because of extreme weather condition. Because of extreme weather condition. एक नू ही नहीं जो हमें कश्ती में बिठा ले, वरना आसार तो मौजूद है तूफान के सारे. The flood of Noah is the biblical, what is called as biblical flooding. So this kind of flooding will become common, which we have seen this year in Gujarat. What has happened? That a cyclone was created on the land and it has moved towards the sea and has created very heavy rain for a very long time. This has resulted into flooding in Rajasthan as well as in Gujarat. So after 1971, this has happened in Gujarat. Not only excessive water, rising temperature leads to forest fire. We had unprecedented forest fire in Uttarakhand. Where the Uttarakhandis will go if the forest fire rages like this every year? At the same time, when there was a forest fire on 26th May, Uttarakhand, on 9th May, There was a torrential rain in what you call Telangana, which resulted into death of 20 people. Unseasonal rains. So these are the major problems which are to be faced by human beings. What is being transpired? What we are doing? What is being done? What we are doing? We are organizing conferences all over the world since 1972 to tackle the problem of first ozone depletion and then the problem of global warming. So from 1972, many international conferences have taken place in which head of the states have come and industrialists have come. They are discussing what to do and what not to do, but in fact, they are doing nothing positive. They are doing nothing positive. I have listed all these conferences which has happened in last 25 or 30 years. You can see the list. I'm not going to name the last one which had happened, COP27 in Egypt. COP means Conference of Parties. Parties means countries here. In global warming, COP actually stands for Control or Push. Actually, it is a conference of parties. But if we don't check the climate change, if we don't check the and control the climate change, we are all going to perish. We are not going to get anything by putting our head under the sand. That is ostrich behavior. The time is not much with us. The time is running fast. We have to do something, but still nothing concrete has come up. Deafening noises and muted outcomes. This is what the Greta Thunberg has said. COP28 has already happened in 2023. COP29 is going to happen in Azerbaijan. That is in this year. Then COP30 will happen in perhaps Brazil. So the conferences will go on and go on and go on, but no solution. No solution. The fingers are raised now towards China and India, the two most populated countries, and they are the two developing countries. The development is directly proportional to the release of carbon dioxide. China and India, they are not committing on the carbon dioxide cut. After 2035, they said that they will think of cutting the carbon dioxide from industry. They are trying to get the technology from Europe and from America. They are not getting the technology, just they are getting the orders from the developed countries that you cut on your CO2 emission through less industrialization, less coal uses, and less what you call vehicle pollution. Similarly, they are also accusing the third world that you are growing a lot of rice. The rice fields are creating a lot of CH4. So the third world country should also cut on rice cultivation. So these are the problems. But ultimately, everybody will suffer. We, the country in India and China, we will also suffer first before any other country suffers. Because if we are creating fire, the heat will come to us first. So the issue is half a degree deal from 1.5 degree to 2 degree centigrade. This is the issue. How to check the temperature less than 1.5 degree and not allow it to go to 2 degree centigrade, because in just this much of half degree difference, there will be many-fold extinction of plant and animal life. There will be many-fold loss of coral reefs. There will be many-fold rise of sea level. There will be a lot of forest crops loss. There will be a lot of loss of ice. There will be extreme heat conditions which we are facing, and there will be a lot of water scarcity which we are facing. So the issue is between 1 to 2 degree. But I have another issue. And you tell me that which is the bigger issue. Human-induced climatic disorders is a bigger issue, or human-induced environmental disorder is the bigger issue. You can write in message that which one is bigger issue, climate change or environmental pollution. Which one is the bigger issue? This is my question towards you, that which one is the bigger issue? Human-induced climatic disorders or human-induced environmental disorders. Environmental disorders means pollution of atmosphere, which we breathe, pollution of water, which we drink, pollution of food item, which we eat, and pollution all around us in the form of waste. In India, 138 people out of 1 lakh people died because of diseases caused by pollution. 100 people world over are dying every half an hour due to the various diseases caused by environmental disorders. Some of the diseases which have come out suddenly, that is Zika, Ebola, dengue, cancer, flu, diabetes, and then Nipah virus, and finally the coronavirus. What is the cause of they have become so lethal? There was a news in the June month that due to air pollution on daily basis, 464 kids are dying in India. In 2021, almost 1,69,400 kids less than 5 years of age have died in India because of air pollution. So we are into a situation that is, we are dying by breathing. Death by breath. See the map. This is Delhi, and around Delhi you have National Capital Region, which you call NCR, and see the pollution level around the NCR. And the most polluted is Bulandshahr. Bulandshahr is most polluted. Why? Why not Delhi? Perhaps the data which they have taken is to save Delhi. Then see other parts of the country. See Ambala, see Bareilly, Dehradun, Gwalior, Hisar, Jaipur, Kanpur, Kota, Patiala. Lot of pollution. See the list below. They have been ranked average mean of PM 2.5, particle of smaller than 2.5 micron. So we have to be much concerned with the pollution which we are creating. Pollution from industry, pollution from our vehicles, pollution from many other sources. When the what you call CNG came in Delhi, the pollution level has dropped a bit. The CNG has resulted into drop of pollution level in year 2000 to 2005, or say 2007, but afterwards it again started increasing, and now it has reached to very high level of 316. So why it has increased? CNG are being used, but still the pollution is increasing because we have put number of vehicles into the system. Our industry growth is directly related to the number of cars sold, the number of vehicles sold, the number of motorcycles sold, the number of scooters sold, the number of cars sold. That is our economic indicator. And if you have more and more sale of automobiles, you are going to have more and more of pollution. And more pollution, more and more of disease. And that most important is the lung diseases. All people who live in metropolis cities, their lungs are already compromised. That's why the effect of coronavirus was more in those cities which are highly polluted cities. Even if there were some cities which have ranked first as far as Swachhata is concerned. But all those Swachhata is nothing but eye wash. Don't believe in Swachhata. Swachhata means one place clean but other place is made dirty. दिल्ली को साफ रहने के लिए सीलमपुर को गंदा रहना होगा, गाजियाबाद को साफ रहने के लिए मेरठ को गंदा होना होगा. We are shifting our waste. We are not thinking that how to reduce waste, but we are shifting our waste. This picture shows that in 2016, the top 10 selling drugs, 5 were of diabetes. The India has become capital of diabetes. India is a world capital of diabetes. Out of top 10 selling drugs, 5 are from diabetes. Why it is so? Why it is so? During the corona period, viral beaten back diabetic medicine sales rebound in April. It is a happy news. The news is a happy news for the industries, pharmaceuticals who are creating diabetic medicine. Virals beaten back, यानी जो वायरल के लिए जो मेडिसिन ली जा रही थी, they dominated in 2019, 20, 21, 22. Diabetic medicines have taken second position or third position. Now the diabetic medicines have again regained their control. Why in India, every place there is a diabetes? Even the village people, they are suffering from diabetes. They are not taking very rich food. They are not lethargic. They are doing a lot of physical activity, but still they are diabetic. Why it is so? Because of pollution. You cannot check the pollution. The pollutants will move with the wind to far away places from where it has been created and will create havoc. 21 cities achieved target of 40% PM10 cut 2 years before deadline. Such kind of news will make us happy, but the reality is something different. We have put lot of stresses as a human beings on our environment. And if we put stress, there will be strain. And these strain are of different cause. The government of India started Swachh Bharat Abhiyan in 2014. Nowadays, again, the government orders have come that celebrate Swachhata in 2 different ways. That is, our psych should have Swachhata, and our they have given 2 slogans. I don't remember exactly. But what do we mean by Swachhata? We are putting 60,000 crore rupees per year. But where is the Swachhata? Swachhata in our houses, Swachhata in our campus. But what is happening to the waste which we have generated? Where it is going? They are creating mountains. They are creating hills of waste. And those waste hills, they are burning. They are burning on their own because of production of methane. And they are creating more carbon dioxide and methane into our atmosphere, and ultimately increasing the greenhouse gases, which is eventually leads to global warming. We have lot of issues. As far as cleanliness in India is concerned, starting from open defecation to not having much of proper sanitation. See the mountains which we have created by dumping waste from cities. In Delhi, we have 3 waste disposal sites: Bhalsara, Ghaziabad, and one in Okhla. The Okhla one has been stopped, but still Bhalsara and Ghazipur landfill site is still continuing. And it is failing like a mountain fails in the landslides. People are dying because of landslide in the mountains, in the hills created by landfills. And there is no place to dispose these waste. Noida authority has made a big colonization, but they have not spared a space for dumping ground for waste. Where the waste will go of Noida? They started throwing it into a village called Rani Khera. People came to objection that no, we will not allow the waste to be dumped to Rani Khera. So this is the biggest problem. We have to think on waste reduction. The amount of waste getting generated is increasing day by day. See this 2015 data that in the from year 2000 to year 2015 in Delhi the waste generation has gone up by 2075%. 2075%, and they are putting Qutub Minar inside. In Bangalore, the waste generation has gone up by 1,750 times from 2000 to 2015. I don't know what will be the statistics today after 9 years or 10 years, but I don't think that there will be some improvement. I don't think. Why? Because I have a proof to show that there must not be any improvement. Disease caused by Meerut waste ground claims 22 lives. Our rivers are highly polluted. People are dying of cancer wherever the river Hindon is flowing. Should Meerut suffer to keep Ghaziabad clean? Are we a filthy nation? Is there filth in our psyche? We have filth in our psyche. We are happy just in keeping our house clean. We are not bothered about what is happening outside our houses. We are not bothered about what is happening outside our houses. Urban India generates 68.8 million tons of garbage, out of which 6,000 tons plastic waste remains uncollected. This is India Today magazine. I have cover of two India Today magazine. One was published in 1993 with the cover story, "Can we clean the mess?" Can we clean the mess? They had to publish same story in 2014 after 21 years. Dirty nation. Dirty nation. See what has happened in last 21 years and what we expect that what would have had happened in last 10 years in 2024. This is a very recent picture. If you can see in the background, there is an Agra Taj Mahal, and in the foreground what you have, filth, a ground full with filth. Now the air is getting polluted. So what has happened? Some of the big cities, they have come with the big air purifier at their crossroads. Smoke towers in Ahmedabad, in Chandigarh, in Delhi, in Bangalore and whatnot. That is another way of making money. First create doom and then make boom out of selling those instruments. So this is the big issue. Why are we generating more waste? Why are we generating more waste? Why we are throwing more waste outside our houses? Why don't we collect it and then transfer it to a proper place so that it can be recycled? Dennis is asking her ma'am that you need more legs, not more shoes. You need more legs, not more shoes. In our childhood days, we used to have one pair of shoe and one pair of slipper. Today we have 10 pair of shoes and perhaps 3 or 4 pair of slippers also. So we are materialistic society, and if the society remains materialistic, it will create more and more waste. So our air is polluted, so is our water. We have very limited source of fresh water. Whatever water we have on the earth, 97.5% is saline water. 97.5% is saline water. Only 2.5% water is fresh water. Out of this 2.5% water, the river water is already polluted. Atmospheric water is okay. It's still somewhat clean, but not always. Lakes are polluted. Rest of the water remains as a water in under the ground, and we have 68.6% water frozen. This is out of 2.5%. The fresh water, which is 2.5%, out of this 2.5%, 68.6% is frozen in ice, means not available directly. It will come to us through rivers, and the rivers are polluted. That means any ice melt, if it goes to river, it is going to be polluted and is of no use, direct use to the human beings. It is only the groundwater which is of direct use, and excessive withdrawal of groundwater is leading to groundwater level decline. Everywhere, all over India, the groundwater levels have gone down by tens of meters, by tens of meters. So this is something very precious. Without water, life is not possible. Water is the elixir of life. Water is the elixir of life. ये अमृत है, इसको हम वेस्ट नहीं कर सकते. We are maintaining greenery in our campuses by watering lawns. We should have sprinklers, as you are seeing, which is in our one of the athletic grounds. We have sprinklers because ultimately the water which comes out from the subsurface, any groundwater which comes out of the surface, it is lost for always. It is lost for always. Don't think that in human lifetime period, this water will get recycled and will reach back to the ground at the same level in this time of humanity. The water taken out of groundwater is lost for always. So we have to use water very judiciously. It is very common to use nowadays small bottles in our functions and in our meetings and in our offices. It is very easy to procure these waters. Just pay 5 rupees and 10 rupees and 15 rupees and 20 rupees, you get a water bottle. But in creating this water, we are wasting thrice the amount which we are creating. The Prophet has said that you don't waste water, even if you are along a running stream. अगर आप नदी के पास भी हैं, नदी का पानी इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं, तो भी you are not allowed to waste that water. Do not waste water even if you were at a running stream. This is the Prophet statement put on a water bottle from Australia. We in the university, we clean water in one of our recycling plants, which we have. We have 2 recycling plants. One runs with energy and this one runs without energy. We have used natural mechanism to clean this water, and you can see the example of the dirty water which has been cleaned in the other beaker. So each university and college should have first start cleaning water in their own campuses and then preach to the others. We are wasting a lot of water in our kitchens. We have to check it. We are wasting a lot of water if we are using washing machines. This have to be very well understood by our homemakers. Whoever may be the homemaker, maybe women, most probably, maybe men also. RO system, it has become a need of the day because water is polluted of some way or other. Though not always polluted, it may have high TDS. Deeper you go for groundwater, more TDS will be there by nature. So we don't want extra TDS, total dissolved solid. So we put RO system. In RO system, if you are filling 1 bucket of water in that tank, you are wasting 3 buckets of water. So collect the water as I am collecting with the 2 buckets. The drain water I am collecting, I am using for it for bathing. I am using it for what you call washing. I am using it for flushing. I am using it for irrigating my plants. I don't use fresh water for irrigating plants. I use only this drain water for plants. Another big issue is with pollution, with infrastructure development, with more agricultural fields, we are cutting the natural grounds of grassland and forest lands. Virgin forest and virgin grasslands are being removed, and this is causing loss of biodiversity. We had a cycle, ecological cycle, in which different aspects they are interconnected with each other. The whole earth system is a mixing and interaction of different and life system. Each are linked with each other, but our human activity is actually creating loss of biodiversity. One of the very famous book written by Rachel Carson, this was the first book written in 1966 perhaps, which has identified that how using DDT and how using other chemicals to weed out insects and to weed out different weeds, we are actually killing the biodiversity. So this is a very famous book by Rachel Carson, which has led to the start of movement of environmental pollution check. Environmental pollution check. So there are a lot of anthropogenic stresses which are driving the change as far as biodiversity is concerned. Bees are starving in dismal year for French honey. There was a news item. Lot of life is getting lost. Lot of animals, they are getting endangered. In fact, half of the life system which has not yet been identified, they have been lost by the handiwork of human beings. What could be the solution? What could be the solution? Who will solve this problem? Never ending parallels. No final solution yet. What we can do? What we can do? Observe these individual days. Should we observe only these individual days and then forget about the thing which we have observed on that very day, or should we observe these different aspects every day in our life? What can we do? What can we do? Predicting the environment, is it easy? No. You cannot predict the environment, you cannot predict the weather. You cannot predict the weather. Greta Thunberg, a climate activist, a child of 8th or 9th class, when she started fighting against its own country about the climate change, and the school boys and girls in Sweden, they started putting strike on every Friday for highlighting the issue of climate change. So there are a lot of people in individual capacity who are putting the things so that we should start thinking about the issue of climate change. US Senator David Buckle has put oil onto him. He put petrol onto him and he lit the matchstick onto himself to show that how the world will burn out by using fuel oil. And he died. He died by doing so. So individual people are trying to impress upon us that do something to check the climate change. Do something to check the climate change. One thing which has come up in a big way is the solar system, solar panels. It has been touted as one of the method to have a check on climate change. And this solar panel which you are seeing, is one of the biggest ground-mounted solar farm in our university. No university in India has got this much big ground-mounted solar plant as we have. We have all our buildings with rooftop solar plants, and also we have ground-mounted solar plant. So this is one way of checking the electricity generation from the coal and gas based plants. Another important thing which we have forgotten, that is use of cycle. These are the cycles which are rotting in Saharanpur in lakhs of numbers. The people who have moved from Punjab and Haryana, the laborers during COVID period, they came to Saharanpur by cycle, and from Saharanpur the trains were arranged for them so that they can go to their destinations. They have left their cycles, and now these cycles are rotting. This is one of the most environment friendly vehicle which can help in cutting the carbon dioxide emission. The capital of Denmark, perhaps Copenhagen. Copenhagen has a population of 6 lakh and they have 6 lakh 50,000 cycles. So anybody can take any cycle and can go anywhere. The best way to protect our what you call environment is to plant trees, to save trees and plant trees. Not only plant trees, but ensure that the trees which have been planted, they are saved so that they can grow, so that they can grow. If they don't grow, they are just planted and then they die, then there is no use of plantation ceremonies. If you can see, this is a picture of IPL match in which you can see 2 green dots. This is mentioning that these 2 balls, no run was scored. There was run scored at first ball 4, second ball 1, third ball 1. Then there were 2 dot balls. What they have pledged, that on each dot ball they will plant 500 trees. The IPL has pledged that for each dot ball they will plant 500 trees. I don't know, they have just shown it on the television or they have planted it also. So all these things, they are interlinked: biodiversity, climate change, economy, COVID, everything is related to each other. But we have to see that how to protect our environment. We are facing lot of heat and lot of temperature which will affect us in a big way, and the cause is the human activity. So it is local laparwahi which is leading to our global warming. I will take 5 minutes more to finish my lecture. If you see, this is 3rd June 2024. 2024, the Municipal Corporation of Aligarh has put green sheet over all the crossroads, all the chaurahas. They have put this green sheet to create some kind of shade. This is for the first time this has happened in Aligarh. Why? Because temperatures were soaring more than 45 degrees centigrade temperature. So to get a little bit of reprieve at red lights, where we have to stop for getting light green and move, they have put these green sheets so that we can have little bit of shade. Sarpalli Radhakrishnan Sahab, on whose date of birth we make our Teachers' Day, we enjoy our Teachers' Day, he has said that the human being is nothing more than the latest of a long series of living creatures. Even if evolution of life does not proceed higher than the human species, science and technology threatens us with the possibility of its extinction. He must have said this some 50, 60 years ago, 70 years ago. He has envisaged that what is going to happen. There is no life on other planets because their scientists were more advanced, if you are able to understand this sarcasm. So we are actually creating problem for ourselves. A blade of grass is a common place on earth. A blade of grass is a common place on earth. it would be a miracle on Mars. Our descendants on Mars will know the value of a patch of green, and if a blade of grass is priceless, what is the value of a human being? You see, wherever we see grass, we always try to uproot it. To maintain our land, our garden, we uproot grass. But even a blade of grass gives you oxygen and takes in carbon dioxide. Even a blade of grass gives us oxygen and takes carbon dioxide. We already had 5 extinctions in the Earth's history. We already had 5 extinctions in the Earth's history when the 75 to 85% of the life has been lost. 75 to 80% of the life has been lost in the past extinction, and the last extinction was 65 million years back when dinosaurs got extinct. Not only dinosaurs, almost 76% of a species have been lost, only 24% were left, and they have again grown into present day world, and in which human being has also got introduced. Now we are heading towards 6th extinction. The last 5 extinction was natural and it took millions of years to happen. But the 6th extinction, which is in offing, as written by Elizabeth Colbert, the 6th extinction, this extinction will come in less than 1,000 years, and it will be caused by human beings, not for own selves, not for themselves, but also for all the life forms. So we are heading towards 6th extinction. We are heading towards a very bad Earth because of global warming and extreme climate and whatnot. So people have started writing books that how to survive in the times of global warming, how to survive without power, how to survive without food, how to survive without water, and so on and so forth. So people are aware of the situation. We are blaming everything to the climate change, but what we are doing to cool the planet? Ultimately, today we need cooling of the planet. What we can do? So there are some solutions. Scientists are working upon it, but none has been implemented. None has been implemented. And the best way to make it practical is to plant trees. This is a painting at Fortis Escort, Delhi, to impress upon general public that we need to plant trees. But what else they have done in the same building, they have put plastic plants in their courtyards and in their interior halls. So this is what is called as paradox. At one time, they are putting this painting to green the earth by putting more plants, and here they are using plastic plants. So this is the issue. These are fake plants. They are not going to help you. They are not going to help you. Even if you water them, they are not going to help you. This is the picture from our commissioner of Aligarh Smart City project, Green Aligarh, Clean Aligarh. And what he has put on his wall, the plastic grass. So this is what is called paradox. If a thela wala sells things in plastic sheets, he will be fine. But the commissioner of Delhi Aligarh Smart Project, he has adorned his wall with a plastic flower and plastic grass. See what is the reality. We are putting a lot of plants in our campus, but we are equally happy in pruning them and making them short and stunted. This is what is crime against the trees and plants. Either you don't plant trees, and if you are planting trees, then let it grow to its full extent. Or you be so selective that you plant a tree which does not grow to a big size if you don't want a big size tree juxtaposed to your walls. In 2020, these are the Ashoka trees. Ashoka trees used to be very big, but they keep it pruning like this. Ultimately, 2 or 3 trees have died in 2 years. So these are the issues. that if we allow nature, that nature can help us, the nature can grow. These are the pictures of plants which I have taken during the lockdown period. The plants have taken the roads, the plants have taken the pedestrian path. But as and when human came, after that COVID was finished, it has started uprooting the trees. One of our alumnus, Mr. Rajan Habib Khwaja, who was an IAS officer, now retired. He was ex-Secretary, Ministry of Environment, ex-Managing Director, Coal India Limited. He said that we have to change the proverb, Jaan hai to Jahan hai, to Jahan hai to Jaan. We have to change this proverb, Jaan hai to Jahan hai, to Jahan hai to Jaan. So this is the last picture. Thank you. If you can see the left side, you have cartoon of Sir Syed Ahmed Khan, who was founder of our university. And he was lampooned in 1881. His cartoon came in a newspaper in 1881 for his love for wild animals and wild plants. See, behind him is what is called cactus. And you can see lot of snakes. He is playing with the snakes and cactus. And he was called as Naturey Jogi. He was called as Naturey Jogi. Means he is a Jogi, loves nature. He was taunted, but see his vision. What he was thinking some 250 years back. Thank you very much. If you have any question, if you have any query, you can comment in the message box or you can ask. Thank you. If you have any query or question, you can ask.
थैंक यू सर।
Thank you.
जलवायु परिवर्तन, प्रदूषण, अपशिष्ट प्रबंधन एवं जैव
Yes.
विविधता
हाँ,
के
बताएं आप।
समस्त पहलुओं पर आंकड़ों सहित आज के इस सुंदर ज्ञानवर्धक विचारोत्तेजक व्याख्यान के लिए मैं रजनीश कुमार, सहायक आचार्य, विवेक कॉलेज ऑफ एजुकेशन बिजनौर, विवेक कॉलेज ऑफ एजुकेशन और यूजीसी एमएमटीटीपी एमयू एवं सभी श्रोताओं की ओर से प्रोफेसर मोहम्मद मसरूर आलम सर का तहे दिल से धन्यवाद करता हूं कि आपने इतने कम समय में हम सबका ज्ञानवर्धन किया। एक बार पुनः सर आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, आभार, साधुवाद। धन्यवाद सर।
Thank you. Rubia Muhammad, yes. If you have any question. If there is no question, then I am leaving. Thank you.
Thank
you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.